One of the stories we've been talking about is how France and England had been in conflict with each other from the 12th century. And then when Britain and France began to have colonies around the world, this tension went global. So the British had the colonies along the eastern coast of America. France had all of Canada and everything west of the Appalachians to the Great Plains. The British and the French began to conflict in western Pennsylvania. So in 1753, the British governor of Virginia, Robert Dinwiddie, sent 21-year-old Major George Washington to deliver a message to the French telling them to leave. Well, instead, the French built Fort Duquesne near present-day Pittsburgh. In 1754, Governor Dinwiddie promoted George Washington to lieutenant colonel and instructed him to raise a militia to confront the French. Young George Washington, with 40 British militia and 12 Mingo Indian warriors who had sided with the British, ambushed a small force of about 35 French Canadians, led by Joseph Colon de Villiers de Jumonville. In this encounter, one of the Indians buried his tomahawk in the head of Jumonville, instantly killing him. Washington retreated and hurriedly constructed Fort Necessity. He was soon surrounded by the French and forced to surrender. This incident sparked the 7 Years' War, or as it is called in America, the French and Indian War. The war quickly went global. A web of alliances that Britain and France had with other countries entangled much of the world. Over 1 million people died. Britain's allies included Prussia, Hanover, Hesse, Brunswick, Schaumburg, Portugal, and the Iroquois Indians in America. France's allies included Austria, Russia, Sweden, Saxony, Spain, and India's Mughal Empire. It is considered to be the first world war in the sense that the fighting took place globally. There were battles in Canada and in America, battles in Cuba, the Caribbean islands, Colombia, Brazil, Uruguay, and other areas of South America. There were battles in Europe, in Britain, Ireland, Austria, Spain, Portugal, Germany, Saxony, Prussia, Russia, the Baltic, and the Mediterranean. And there were battles in Bengal, India, West Africa, and even the Philippines. Well, the British got tired of fighting the French in Canada, and they landed and did the Great Expulsion. The British rounded up thousands of French and put them on boats and shipped them out of Acadia and Nova Scotia, Canada, in this Great Expulsion of 1755. Thousands of French sailed away, some to the Caribbean islands, and others went to Louisiana. The Louisiana Territory, which again was the whole Mississippi River Valley. They pronounced Acadian a little different. The French in Louisiana Territory pronounced Acadian Cajun. So the Louisiana Cajun is really the French Catholic Acadian. Well, in July of 1755, the French and Indians ambush 1,400 British troops headed to Fort Duquesne. It's called the Battle of Monongahela. 900 British were killed. Among those killed was General Braddock. He was the highest-ranking British officer in America. Well, this left the young Colonel George Washington in charge of the army, and he organizes a retreat. When the French and Indian War ended in 1763, France lost territories all around the world, including all of Canada and all the land in America east of the Mississippi River and west of the Appalachians, with the exception of Spanish Florida. Though victorious, Britain incurred such great debts from the war that it almost bankrupted England. So to pay off the debts, as well as to pay for troops left in America in case of future French and Indian conflicts, the British Parliament devised burdensome taxes for the American colonies. These taxes stifled America's economy and a decade later ignited the Revolutionary War. So as the French and Indian War was ending, France suddenly ceded the Louisiana Territory west of the Mississippi River to Spain. It was a secret treaty of Fontainebleau. All of a sudden, everything west of the Mississippi River is Spanish territory. So the French settlers crossed the Mississippi River into this new Spanish-controlled land, and they found the cities of St. Louis in 1764 and St. Charles in 1765. In 1781, Louis XVI sent his navy to help America win the Battle of Yorktown, resulting in America's independence from Britain. America would not have become independent had it not for France joining our side, because France didn't like the British. Now this time, after France helped America gain independence, it was France that incurred an enormous war debt for helping in the American Revolution. This enormous debt in France weakened the monarchy, and after a couple years of crop failure, the people in France got upset at their king and started the French Revolution in 1789. On January 21st of 1793, a mob beheaded 38-year-old King Louis XVI, and a reign of terror followed, resulting in 40,000 citizens being beheaded in Paris